I'm so thrilled to be here today and to be part of this incredible ceremony. This is a example of what individuals with big thoughts on how can we make something better, how can we make an existing system better, especially systems that matter to so many of our lives in the city, in the state, across the nation, and the world. So my name is Sam Fiorello, and on behalf of the Cortex Innovation Community, I'd like to welcome you to today's signing of the bill signing ceremony of House Bill 3007, which under the leadership of Governor Parson strengthens manufacturing capabilities within our state for industries important to national security of our entire country. This morning, I would especially like to extend a warm welcome to Governor Mike Parson, Mayor Tashara Jones, Acting Director of the Missouri Department of Economic Development, Maggie Coast, Kim Bryant and Deja Hughes from the Office of U.S. Representative Cori Bush, and Robert Arbuthnot, Chief of Staff for Senator Brian Williams. We're honored to have you all with us here today. This important legislation will establish Missouri as the lead innovator of advanced manufacturing of active pharmaceutical ingredients and semiconductors, driving quality jobs throughout our state and health security throughout our nation. As a hub of innovation focused on accelerating inclusive economic growth and workforce training for quality jobs, this is the exact kind of work that Cortex is so passionate about, and we're proud to be part of this. In addition to Governor Parson and Mayor Jones, this morning we'll be hearing brief remarks from Al Kohler, President and CEO of Kohler Enterprises and Chairman of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and Industry Board of Directors, Jason Hall, CEO of Greater St. Louis, Inc., Dan Brewer, Executive Vice President of Brewer Science, and Tony Sardella, CEO and Chair of the API Innovation Center at Cortex. It's my honor to introduce our first speaker, Governor Mike Parson. Governor Parson came into the role of governor with a lifelong commitment to serving others and over 30 years of experience in public service, including serving as the state's 47th lieutenant governor, serving 6 years in the U.S. Army, and as the sheriff of Polk County from 1993 to 2005. During his tenure as governor, he has led Missouri through times of plenty as well as times of challenge. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Governor Mike Parson.
Well, good morning to everyone. I couldn't help thinking on the way up here this morning. I remember coming here when I was a freshman legislator for the first time many years ago. A lot of history there, Jason, when that started. And I remember this is more of an idea than it was to be able to see where it's at today. So it's pretty proud to come back today and be with some of them, with the Danforth family at the time and a lot of people that were involved early on to see what Cortex has done. And what an exciting time for this region of the state and to have this right here in your backyard. So it's pretty good to be here today. I want to thank Sam. Thank you for what you've been doing and having us here today. And I'm so proud to be able to sign this bill today. $15 million is going to go a long way to help a lot of industry in our state and a lot of manufacturing, a lot of cutting-edge technology, and we continue to want to grow on it. We appreciate Cortex, and we appreciate the Missouri Chamber of Commerce for being partners with us throughout this whole time. And just another thanks for Cortex. You'll hear me say that a lot, but I'm just so excited to be here and see some of the things they're doing and some of the challenges they've been through and how successful they've been. It's just pretty incredible to be here. One of the biggest lessons we learned during the pandemic is that our economy has become too reliant on other countries to manufacture the things we need. Global supply chain problems have made it harder for American companies to meet demand. And we are still facing shortages even today. But with every problem, there becomes an opportunity. And opportunity is what we have today. We need to rely less on other countries and begin to move critical manufacturing back to the United States. And we want to do everything we can to bring these jobs to Missouri. Today, we are dedicating $15 million to grow our state's ability to manufacture semiconductors and advanced pharmaceutical ingredients. As global shortages continue as these critical manufacturing areas, here in Missouri, we're not waiting for global supply chains to return to normal, if they ever do. It is time for a new normal, one that benefits Missouri by bringing high-tech jobs to our state. Missouri is home to one of the fastest growing high-tech industries, and we have well-established expertise in semiconductor and advanced pharmaceutical ingredient manufacturing. Missouri today is 4th in the United States for manufacturing facilities. I want you to let that soak in. We are now 4th in the United States. We are 7th in the United States for tech manufacturing growth in that. Those are things that we've never been in those categories before, but it's because we all work together for the betterment of our state. And I think one thing since I first became governor, coming to this region of the state, I wanted to figure out how we could work together to be successful. And I think when you look at the aerospace, the automobile industry, all the things you go on, the finance industry up here in St. Louis, all the things that we have going in healthcare and science with our universities that we have, you're starting to see all that work start to come together and to become more and more known across the world. Matter of fact, next week I go to Europe along with, I know my Director of Economic Development, Maggie's here this morning. We're going to Europe, and I will tell you now, they make me say, now, Governor, whatever you do, don't say too much when we go overseas. So I'm always got to be careful how I say this, but I will say this. I think it's going to be a really good trip. I think this region of the state will be very happy when we return. I think we're going to try to finish up some deals over there, and many of them are what we're talking about today that has somewhat of a footprint over here. So let me just tell you, we got to do our part from the state to support this part of the state and know how important this is. And when you look at why we're here today, this is the cutting edge stuff that makes you different, our state different from other states in the United States. One last thing, statistic number I'm going to throw out to you because I think this is important. And I know Jason will already know it, and he's here today. Missouri is in the top 10 of the United States for site selections. So what that tells you is people are looking at Missouri before they look at 40 other states in the United States to set up shop and do business. We need to capitalize on that, we need to build on that, and we need to continue to build for our state. And I am sorry, but I just now seen the mayor here, so I got to pay more attention here a little bit. Mayor Joan, good to have you here today. Always good to work with you. Always good to come here when exciting times like this, what we're dealing with today. So I appreciate that. So thank you all for having me here today. Shortly we'll get into the official side of this and we'll sign this document up here. And I don't know if we brought 15 million with us today or not, but we'll figure out how to get it here on that. All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Governor. It's now my honor to introduce our next speaker, St. Louis Mayor Tishaura Jones. I've had the good fortune of working closely with her and her staff since she came into office. Mayor Jones is steadfast in her belief that St. Louis can compete in a global economy, can serve as an economic engine for the city, the region, and the state, and can do it in a way in which all of its citizens can contribute to that growth and prosperity, no matter the neighborhood they live in. We're proud to be partners with her administration to help her achieve these lofty goals. Please welcome Mayor of St. Louis, Tishaura Jones.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us today for this exciting event. And Governor, it's always great to see you in St. Louis. We're always ready to welcome you to our city. We appreciate the support that you've always shown us, and today being a great example of that. Whether it's through our first direct flight to continental Europe in decades, which I hope you're taking when you go to Europe, or creating opportunities through equitable, inclusive growth, I want to put St. Louis back on the map. We have so much to offer. Not only are we the economic engine of our region, we are home to top-tier health systems, world-class universities, a thriving art scene, and much more. St. Louis, I refer to as the Silicon Prairie. And with this House Bill 3007, we are strengthening that reputation and solidifying St. Louis as a leader in bioscience, healthcare, and advanced manufacturing. This $15 million grant for the advanced manufacturing of active pharmaceutical ingredients and semiconductor computer chips, say that 5 times fast, will help create good jobs for St. Louis working families, strengthening neighborhoods across our city. St. Louis should be a place where everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed, regardless of your zip code, your gender, your skin color, who you love, how you worship, or any identity you hold. Workforce development is an issue that's near and dear to my heart, and the governor's as well, and we work together on that. And someone is less likely to pick up a gun if they're picking up a paycheck. And poverty is the father of crime. My administration is using American Rescue Plan funds to create summer jobs for our youth, giving them opportunities for professional development, and setting them up for success down the road. I'm also committed through our roadmap to economic justice to enhance workforce development opportunities that make sure that the good, high-quality paying jobs that we create are truly available to all. We want to give dedicated St. Louisans a stable pathway to success that they and their families deserve. So thank you again, Governor Parson, and our delegation at the legislature for working hard to bring these funds to our city and helping drive innovation through our region. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next speaker is Al Kohler, Chairman of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and Industry Board of Directors and President and CEO of Kohler Enterprises. Come on up.
Thanks, Sam. At the Missouri Chamber, we're helping to grow our tech economy through our leadership in the Missouri Technology Alliance with Brewer Science as one of our founding members. We're uniting Missouri's tech community behind a statewide strategy to maximize Missouri's position as a top state for tech growth. It's clear there are strong national security and economic arguments being made right now about the need to onshore high-tech manufacturing of semiconductors and advanced pharmaceutical ingredients. As these industry functions look to expand in the United States, we think Missouri stands to benefit. Our Technology Alliance is working to take advantage of this opportunity, and this is exactly the right time to invest in Missouri's future. We greatly appreciate Governor Mike Parson and the leaders of the Missouri General Assembly for their focus on growing our economy. Missouri is already home to one of the nation's fastest growing tech sectors, especially in the area of tech manufacturing, and this investment will continue to move Missouri forward. As Governor Parson mentioned, Missouri currently ranks 7th in the nation in technology manufacturing growth and 8th in the nation for projected future technology manufacturing growth. But this is only the start. The Missouri Chamber and the Missouri Technology Alliance see a huge potential to attract more tech investment to Missouri. And as we grow, these investments will benefit every Missouri industry and ripple across our economy for decades to come. Thank you.
Thanks, Al. Thanks for your leadership and all you do. Our next speaker is someone who I've known and worked with for decades, and someone who I not only call a colleague but a friend, and that's Jason Hall, CEO of Greater St. Louis, Inc.
If we've been working for decades, Sam, I was pretty young when we started. Or I'm just getting older. My name is Jason Hall, CEO of Greater St. Louis, Inc., which is an alliance of the St. Louis Metro civic-minded business community. And as many of you know, we came together in a 5-way civic merger on January 1st, 2021 to lay down the mark that this is going to be a growing community. That is our future. And no matter what zip code you come from, or as the mayor articulated, no matter what your identity, that this is a model of inclusive growth and you are welcome. And I stand here only because of our founding members, Many are here with us today. I see Travis Sheridan from Wexford, Chancellor Soblik, Christine Page, BJC, and so many other companies that said we want to be a part of the solution in moving forward. And our collective focus on behalf of those CEOs that came together is to make sure that St. Louis wins this decade. And today is a reminder of what we can get done when we focus, when we show up, when we collaborate and execute with excellence. As you heard, I think, from the mayor and the governor, let's just say it because it feels good. St. Louis is a resurgent city. We remade ourselves, our identity, and the way we're going to work during COVID so that we could come out in this extraordinary post-pandemic moment stronger. And you see that sense of optimism, confidence, and actual growth coming out of that, a lot of which has been said here today. And that bill signing today is another part of that resurgence. This API Center of Innovation is not only about groundbreaking technology and research, it's really an example on a broader scale of what St. Louis can get done to advance our nation's health security, reshore advanced manufacturing, and drive job growth for the metro. This is another point on the board for the 2030 jobs plan, laying down a focus of where we're going to go and showing up every day to drive those priorities forward. And I think you really got to let sink in what Governor Parson said about global supply chain, because sometimes we hear these big, lofty macro forces playing out, and we don't necessarily appreciate the moment in which we are living. Just last month, the cover of The Economist, one of the leading business publications, said, this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to remake global capitalism. And where in the 90s and the 2000s we prioritized efficiency, the moment now is that capital is flowing to our friends and countries we trust. That is what this is all about today. We have to have security by controlling pharmaceutical production in this country. And so as those capital investments reflow back to this country, it is an intense competition for those dollars and for those jobs. And if we don't show up in a global way, in a collaborative way, creating certainty that we want that money and that investment here, it will go to other places. We've also, we can help develop these solutions to global challenges if we act as one metro, speak with one voice, and this is a perfect example of that mindset, because this area that we're in right now, from Cortex to downtown, is going to disproportionately impact over the next decade this entire bi-state metro's position in the global innovation economy. You don't have a concentration of world-class research, innovation, entrepreneurs, venture capital in such close proximity as in this area. And anybody in this metro that wears the label of leader needs to be showing up every single day with urgency to ensure the 20 years that got us to this stage right now is not taken for granted, and that we move forward in a collaborative way. And I specifically want to thank the mayor's administration and Governor Parson for showing up and creating that confidence and that clarity. That is a pro-business climate. I also want to note that this funding we celebrate today, this $15 million, is part of a nearly $125 million commitment that the governor made in his budget to fund entrepreneurship and innovation in that state. And Governor, when you were talking about showing up at Cortex your first year, I was thinking back when we were working on this MTC stuff, I never thought we'd see this moment where it would be an over $100 million commitment to the next generation of the state. You are planting seeds that you will not enjoy while you're in office, but I hope you will appreciate and get to enjoy in the years ahead. As the mayor said as well, from the rollout of our nonstop air service to Europe on Lufthansa, first time in 20 years, the incredibly successful NASCAR Cup Series that we attracted to this region. I was texting with Dave Stewart last night. He was so excited. 30 billion positive global media impressions about St. Louis from that one event. That's how we're showing up. The Taylor Geospatial Institute putting us on the global stage for innovation and showing up as the global leader in BBC World News as the city and the community that's doing it right to welcome those Afghan refugees that helped our men and women in harm's way. That is the resurgent St. Louis, and it is going to take active, showing up, transparent leadership to ensure that the next generation of that success is within reach. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Congratulations to everyone that made this moment happen, and let's move forward. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you, Jason. Our next speaker is Dan Brewer, and about 10, 15 years ago, I had the chance to serve on a committee that the state put together to look at innovation in the state, and I was really fortunate to get a chance to meet Dan's father and get to know him. And from that, I got a chance to go to Rolla to see the headquarters of Brewer Sciences, and I'll tell you, it's the American dream of an individual who had a passion for discovery. He looked at the big issues that needed to be tackled. How can we do this better? And he created a business that, if any of you get a chance to go, I'm sure Dan would host you. It's amazing, the technology from Brewer Sciences in every processor and chip around the world, their advanced work on sensors that are deployed in space and on the ground and in water. It's really an amazing tribute to the visionary leadership of an individual who can start a company, and then Dan taking over and taking it to the next level. So I'm so proud that you're here today, and thank you and your whole family for what you've done and the business creation and opportunity you created. So come on up here.
Thank you. So, Brewer Science is a semiconductor manufacturing company. We make computer chips, and if you own a cell phone or a laptop, you own something with Brewer Science technology inside of it. We are a global company. By the way, this is a silicon wafer. This is where the computer chips start their life. There's probably about 10,000 chips or more on this particular wafer that we've manufactured and can show here today. I do not want that to roll off. We are a global company, but we are committed to manufacturing and developing our technology in the Midwest. We always have been, and we always will be. This is where we invest in all of our advanced technology development and manufacturing, is in Missouri and in the Midwest. In addition to that, we have been nominated as a Top Workplaces Award in both St. Louis and nationally, more years than I can count. So we are committed to developing the workforce, the technology, the manufacturing base here in the Midwest, in Missouri particularly. We think this is where the future lies. It's not on the East Coast, it's not on the West Coast. It's here in the Midwest, it's here in Missouri. This is where the future is. We're so proud to be a part of this, working with the Chamber and the Governor, and all of the support that they've all given us. We just appreciate that so much, because we share their same vision. We share the vision of building up the Midwest and Missouri to become a leader in the world of technology and workforce development. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Our next speaker is another individual who I have the privilege of working with, but also call a friend. I met Tony Sardella 25 plus years ago. We worked together back in the day. And again, Tony is one of those individuals that was always thinking about how we can do something different and better, and to create products and services that improve the human condition. And I'm really proud to be affiliated, both myself and Cortex, with the launch of the API Innovation Center at Cortex. And it certainly wouldn't be even at step one without the passion and vision and leadership of Tony Sardella. So Tony, come on up.
Thank you, everybody. And I want to welcome you to the future home of the API Innovation Center, which will become the epicenter for reshoring and building resiliency for our drug supply chain in the United States. This aspiration would not have been possible whatsoever without the pioneering of Governor Parson to invest in advanced technology at this center, to allow that advanced technology the ability to reshore manufacturing in an economical and sustainable manner for generations, and as well, through that advancement, to allow job growth in the region. We are grateful for the investment of the state and your personal commitment to advancing our manufacturing base. In addition, we are tremendously delighted and thankful for Mayor Jones for her relentless and passionate drive to grow the economic base of St. Louis, her partnership in allowing us as a center to grow with the rest of the innovation community here in St. Louis to enable this center to become not only a regional center, but a national model, which will take us forward in this area. And I want to thank all of you. You know, we have this day together, and I look at the group and all the meetings we all had to make this vision a reality. All of you participated, all of you contributed, and shaped what it's going to look like and what it looks like at this point in time. The backdrop of the center is we have a very fragile drug supply chain in the United States. It leaves us incredibly vulnerable to political tensions, trade changes, and puts us in a very vulnerable state and puts our citizens in a vulnerable state. The mission of the API Center is through advanced technologies to make us resilient and to be able to foster manufacturing in the United States so our supply chains are resilient and our citizens build health security. Now, it takes a tremendous amount of work. I was speaking up in DC to many of the different agencies and administration on why is this model working? Why are you being able to advance it so quickly in the last 12 months? And one of our strengths in this region is our unrelenting ability to work together and partner. This is difficult and it takes partnerships. Partnerships with Continuity Pharma and David Thompson, one of the very first DARPA-funded research efforts around continuous flow technology. To work with Emerson and Asperitech, who was the backbone to Project Warp Speed with their control systems, and have them lean in to bring in their advanced technologies to the ability to produce in miniaturized capabilities that you're going to see later on. I was speaking with someone and they looked at the size and I thought it was really profound what they said. It's like when we used to have mainframes and then went down to PCs. This is the shift that we're fostering and the ability to scale it economically. And so with that, it also enables us to move forward with those relationships to make breakthroughs. We are delighted today to have the chairman and CEO, Gita Madan, of the Glioblastoma Foundation. And it paints a real picture of the challenge that we're trying to solve. The Glioblastoma Foundation provides incredible services and care for patients suffering from glioblastoma, a cancer. But unfortunately, as written up in major oncology journals, this has become a crisis due to the lack of access to the first line of defense, a drug called lomustine, with only one manufacturer in the world, not in the United States, which caused prices to go up by 1,500%, even worse, just not allowing supply to be available for their treatments. The glioblastoma stepped forward, working with the API Innovation Center and all of its partners, and we will be bringing lomustine production through this set of equipment within the next 24 months, shaving over 5 years of time, thanks to another major contributor, Mallinckrodt Specialty Generics, who has excess capacity that they made available and a willingness to bring this new novel equipment into their existing facilities. That is the breakthrough model that others are observing with great awe as to what we're doing here in the city and in the state to bring manufacturing back. Later on today, you'll see Continuity's equipment and a demonstration of how the production works. Keeping in mind that not only is it advanced in its technology, it drops the price of production down to significantly, in some cases, 60% for the production of the API. As Governor Parson said, making it sustainable long-term to produce these products here in the United States. In addition, it has a smaller environmental footprint, has less energy requirement, and in addition also has higher quality in regards to its API production. On all fronts, this amazing advanced technology will put us in a leadership position nationally and globally. It allows us to reshore not just this product, but up to 25 critical medicines over the next 5 years, with the ability to create over 225 jobs here in the region. Through that work, we will become, within Missouri and St. Louis, a leader in this space. We will be able to drive both resilience, health security, and economic growth. And I'm thrilled to have this journey and really steward this journey with all of you to help us realize that aspiration. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Tony, and again to all our speakers for your support in Missouri's commitment to strengthening our nation's critical supply chains and to fostering quality job growth and economic development throughout the state and certainly in our region. I see I've got a couple of minutes. I'm going to go off script here to say something I think is important. Tony mentioned the work that David and his team do, but I'll just say that folks like David and his research team here, and I'd actually like to have you all stand up and get some credit, because these are the folks that never end up behind a podium here, and the work that they do, it takes brilliance and grit and determination. I guarantee you that they don't work 9 to 5, and it's not a 5-day week. But their passion and their vision and their tenacity allows breakthroughs that turn into drugs that can cure cancer and other afflictions. And they don't get the recognition that they need, but without the folks like you, we wouldn't be here. And so I want to, all of us, give them a round of applause. Now, Dr. David Thompson, co-founder and chief scientific officer at Continuity Pharma, will demonstrate to the governor and mayor the continuous manufacturing process to produce active pharmaceutical ingredients for lomustine, as Tony mentioned, a drug treatment for glioblastoma, a rare form of brain cancer. There's currently no U.S. source for lomustine, and because of the governor's leadership and Dr. Thompson and his team's innovative continuous manufacturing process development, this important drug will soon be manufactured right here in Missouri. At the conclusion of today's event, Dr. Thompson will demonstrate the equipment to anyone else who'd like to see it. So this first one, we'll just ask the governor and mayor to come up to see it, but these guys will stick around for anyone who wants to see how it works. And following Dr. Thompson's demonstration, we will invite Governor Parson and the bill signing party, I'm told you know who you are, to the stage for the signing of House Bill 3007. So, Governor and Mayor, please.
First off, I want to start by thanking both of you and the state of Missouri for helping to make the API Innovation Center happen. It's really, I can't overemphasize how important it is to help fledgling startups like us get our find our sea legs and be able to help change what's happening with API supply in the U.S. Thank you again for the ability to try to take this technology and to actually now deploy it, as we've done first for lomustine, but actually have now executed on 7 different API, generic API, to be able to make them using this type of technology. The system you're looking at is capable of generating the equivalent of 100,000 doses per day of some of the medications we take. And so what that means is that, 100,000, we're dealing with a nation of 320 million people. So how do you deal with that volume? You can go to larger units, of course. But one of the concepts that we're pursuing is the idea of actually creating farms of identically replicated units, much like the computer chips, where you have identical units, and now you can distribute them.
you.